Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm hearing about the story. I have heard about the story involving Trouble, rapper out of ATL. RIP to him and condolences, sincere condolences to all who loved him. Um, the reason why I'm turning on the camera is because I just read um, what was released as a meme, which entailed paperwork that showed the police report. So that is exactly what I'm referring to. Um, that report stated certain things about what happened when the police arrived on the scene and what was reported from there. Here's the thing that disturbed me about the situation. Um, you know, it was said that Trouble was in bed with the lady um, at the time, and her ex boyfriend had come home, um, started fighting her immediately when he saw her in bed with Trouble. And then, of course, Trouble gets up, fights as well, and then the man pulls out a gun, and that's how that goes. And then the person leaves the scene. Um, what was said in that report was that she stated to the police that she had broken up with him a week before, um, after he had, and her had got into an argument in a car where he broke her nose, um, and essentially they were arguing about some stuff, some personal stuff to them, and it was like, okay, you had been with this man for 3 years. You got into this confrontation in your car. He attacks you, leaves the scene, and you don't see him after that. He don't come home. Y'all live together, mind you. He doesn't come home. The last time you seen him, he was violent. And your next thought is, since he hasn't come home a week later, let me bring someone into his house, into your house, in his bed. Uh, that just does not add up to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is hard to believe. Just gonna put that out there. I'm having a hard time with that one. Because you've been with this person for 3 years. The last time you saw them, they were violent. Was a conversation had in that car prior to or after the punch in the nose to where he was to come to the conclusion that that wasn't his house no more and that you were moving on with another man? And that was going to be okay for you to bring that man into the household that he lives in? He's violent. Like that right there, he's a violent person. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? That don't add up. And then you bring Trouble into that situation. Okay, sneaky link, got it, whatever. But you're gonna bring him into the household of the violent man that you broke up with a week ago. Breakup signified by him being violent towards you. That, I know that such things can exist. People can be naive, especially young people. I don't know the age of this young lady. I don't know. But sometimes people can be real ignorant about how they do things. I've been ignorant about how I've done things in the past, etc. But when you know you got a violent significant other that you've been with for 3 whole years and you broke up with literally 7 days ago, you're going to bring someone into their household and you haven't even seen them since the last time they were extremely violent with you? I mean, what the heck do you think is going to happen? You think this person is not going to have pop up at some point to their home? You think he's just never coming back? It's only been a week. He was with you for 3 years. You know how emotional men are about stuff like this. I just, I just think something else going on there. I think something else going on there. Either, respectfully speaking, either she's really, really dense and doesn't understand these things, and that's fair because there are people out there who are like that. Or there's more stuff to find out about this dang story. There's more to know. There's more to know. And looking at what Trouble was saying on his, I think it was an Instagram text or a tweet of some sort, whatever he released to social media right before his passing, alluded to a scenario that could entail all of this. He was essentially saying, ladies, or fellas, watch out for the people that you deal with in regards to, messing around, because sometimes there'll be other people attached to those people. You got to deal with it. I'm paraphrasing what I understood him to have tweeted, but the point is, be careful, because it can be a situation where you get caught up with some dudes, and it'll be a problem between you and that dude. It won't even be about the woman no more. And then couple hours later, this is what takes place. So it's like that tells me the presence of that man was in his mind. He wasn't exactly surprised that homie popped up. Maybe he knew dude. Maybe they were actually beefing over this woman prior to, and that's why it got so violent so quickly. You know what I mean? I think when you really look at this situation, it's obviously very sad. And then you look at what's going on in Atlanta with all the RICO charges and people just dropping dead left and right, all kinds of weird stuff. Weird stuff is happening in ATL right now. And so I'm just sending prayers their way, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, things don't seem like they are as they seem right now over there. That's what it seems like to me, that there's a lot to uncover, that if you're a conspiracy theorist, you got plenty to pay attention to in Atlanta 2022. So that's all I got to say right now. It's weird over there right now. But condolences to everybody who's lost their life, or, of course, people who are affected particularly by the passing of Trouble, Atlanta MC. So that's what I got, man. That's what I got. Very sad about that. I didn't realize that I was familiar with some of Trouble's music, but he has a song that I listened to a lot while I was playing NBA 2K. One of the songs that came on regularly. Actually, one of my favorite songs on there. I wish I knew the name of it, but the point is he was up and coming. He had good people around him in terms of the respect of the people in the industry, and he was on the rise. The last thing we heard from him was fire. And so you just hate to see somebody get cut down when they have a lot of potential, and just cut down in general, man. It could be any of us. Look, this could have been me. I'm not gonna lie. Anybody could be caught up in that situation. That's why it's so important we learn this lesson. Don't just take a woman's word for it. Unfortunately, fellas, women just the same. Don't take a fella's word for it. If he say, "Oh, I'm single, ain't nobody here," and you go to that house, look around, see if you see signs of somebody who lives there. Like, don't just take somebody's word for it. Oh, we broke up. You sure you broke up? Because you may believe you broke up. Does the other party know y'all broke up? Does that person see it that way, or do I have to be on guard? Don't just think you can lay your head down in somebody's house like that. You know what I mean? A lot of times, growing up, I'd be at other people's houses. Oh, I'm gonna go over this person's house. Oh, we don't know them, but we gonna go to their house too. Okay, and after that, we gonna go to these people's houses. Like, that's not safe, man. It's not safe. You want a sneaky link? You want to get with every woman? And no, especially when you come to some of the certain cities. No, people will set you up. You know what I mean? Different politics. If you're a person of color, you got to be aware of that in this country. You go certain places, you mess with certain women, it could go left for you just because of political ties. Ain't got nothing to do with whether or not she like you or not. That kind of stuff. You just have to literally be on guard at all times now, for us as people of color, man, because it's a lot of traps out here. It's a lot of poverty out here, insecurity running rampant, people without resources and without father figures in their lives, all kind of weird stuff that make a man want to shoot a man in the chest for sleeping with a woman. You know what I mean? It's like it gets to a point where you threw away your life, bro. You threw away your life. Not only did you take that man's life, you threw away yours. And as academics so eloquently put, she gonna move on to the next dude right after that. Like, that's how it's gonna be. It's just what it is. You don't get to keep her. I don't give a damn how strong you feel for your significant other and how long you've put in. You could have put in 40 years. The courts don't care. Their body don't belong to you. And if you think for 1 second that you're gonna enact some force, try to make it so, you're gonna spend time sitting down because of it. Unfortunately, this guy, he ain't getting out. And she gonna move right on. Bro, she moved on after a week. She had somebody in your bed after a week. You punching her in the face didn't do nothing, but ultimately trigger what ultimately you'd end up doing later on. Just continuing that same self-destructive and ultimately dangerous behavior toward others. And it destroyed him, and he ain't getting no closer to that woman than he was last week. And she's better for it because he, obviously is out of his damn mind. I'm just going to be real with you. We're not pulling no punches on this camera. We're very sorry Trouble lost his life, man. But we also understand that there's a lot of wisdom to take from this. And that's what we have to do. Be on guard. Don't just take nobody's word for it. Be laying your head down in everybody's house. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're about. You don't know who's after them or who mad at you for being in their house with them. I've heard some horrible stories, even worse than that one, to be honest with you, just from people being in spaces where they want to just hang out, lose their life just because they want to kick it, like literally. So, nah, nope. Growing up in LA taught me it ain't safe to do that. You gotta move a certain way and you gotta move with numbers. Even when you do your sneaky links, you gotta have people who are aware of what you're doing and who could get to you. So I agree with that when Axe said it, and I'm gonna reiterate it here. My name is BDF44. Rest in peace of trouble. I'm out.